Roma's day has come! A European trophy is finally theirs! So long they've craved it! It is a triumph, decades in the making! But Mourinho has made it happen! And in his first season too! They'll give him the freedom of the Eternal City! 14 years since they've won anything! It means everything! Utter deflation for Feyenoord. Their 20-year wait for a European honour goes on. But the tears will flow in Rome. Tammy Abraham, part of a side that makes history for the Giallorossi. Feyenoord downtrodden, they gave everything, but there was no route back. Zaniolo's goal, the difference. Roma win this final by 1-0.
Yeah, I thought Feyenoord were fantastic in that second half. They just couldn't quite break down that fantastic Roma defence. Ibanez, Smalling, Mancini, sensational. Rui Patricio with a big save. And the goal in the first half from Zaniolo, brilliantly taken. Jose Mourinho does it again. Deflated Feyenoord, unlucky, but Roma, fantastic.
Well, Mourinho's got the magic touch again, and they've won this by 1-0.
Incredible scenes out there then in Tirana as Roma celebrate that European triumph. Beautiful scenes there, Chris Smalling there winning a trophy out in Italy, finally after several years out there. Huge night for Jose Mourinho, of course, huge night for everyone associated with AS Roma. But you've got to feel for Feyenoord there. It was a huge opportunity for them here in Tirana tonight, but the night belongs to Jose Mourinho and that Roma side as well. Big gambles from the likes of Chris Smalling, Tammy Abrahams to travel out and live and work in Italy. It's all paid off. Owen Hargreaves and Joe Cole. What a night for Jose Mourinho's side.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic for these players. They worked incredibly hard all season. I think for Jose Mourinho and these players, you know, when you get to a final, you want to win it. And, you know, let's be honest, they were the better team. Feyenoord, you know, had a decent campaign. They pushed, they dominated the ball. But defensively, they were so good, Roma. Rui Patricio made 2 magnificent saves in the second half, which made a huge difference in the game. But I thought there was a big difference in terms of the experience of 2 sets of players. Feyenoord, young team, and you could see it in this Roma team with Mourinho's experience. They were just too much. They were too much for this Feyenoord side. And I think the right team won.
It was a Mourinho masterclass in so many ways, wasn't it, Joe? Particularly in that first half.
It was. The first 15 minutes, you could tell the game plan quite. There was no risks. Don't lose the game. They knew they'd Feyenoord would give them a chance. They knew defensively Feyenoord were vulnerable. I thought Chris Smalling was outstanding. I thought he marshalled that defence. It's great to see Spinazzola, I thought, was one of the player of the tournaments, come on as well. The Zaniolo getting the goal after having 2 cruciates at 22 years of age. There's so many great stories. But the main story is the club. It's this beautiful club. You can
see the name being engraved there on the first trophy.
Yeah, I mean, massive underachievers for a club of that size. You know, the great Francesco Totti couldn't do this, but this group of players can. You know, there's some English players, there's Maitland-Niles there, there's Tammy Abraham, all contributed on this campaign. Like you said, that they had that dreadful result out in Norway, you know, and when they probably eyes wasn't on this, but tonight they played like Roman warriors. They were throwing their bodies in the way, defended like they was animals. Their back 5 were absolutely fantastic, all of them. That man, the goalkeeper there, Patricio, outstanding. And it's just beautiful. These scenes like this make me want to get back into the game because it is just absolutely beautiful.
It is beautiful, and we saw Tammy Abrahams there. I mean, look, he's won the Europa Conference League, which is what he said at the outset in the interview with Joe, actually, Owen. He said, you know, we're here to win. He also did win a Champions League medal last year, although he wasn't in the final squad. He was left out by Thomas Tuchel. Which one will mean more to him?
Well, I mean, I think when you play an integral part like he has, you know, in the whole campaign, and probably their most important player, this means so much to you. You know, when you're a big part player, it's quite hard to actually sit on the bench, even though you're excited to be part of a team and win. You know, when you're the heart of everything and you're the main man, it feels so different. And, you know, that's what you work for 10, 11 months, you know, to celebrate the end of a season like this. You see the relief of all the players. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's what every player dreams of. You know, obviously they prefer a Champions League or a Europa League, but this is one you're in, and that's the one you got to win, and they did that.
Yeah, the Roma fans there in full voice celebrating with their players as well. The players are going to have a long, long trip back home, couldn't they? Could they challenge for the Europa League next season? I mean, look, we've seen the cream rise to the top in this competition. Both of those teams are in that Europa League next season. What do you think, Joe?
There's a way to go. There's a way to go, but one thing they've got an outstanding manager. And listen, I had a good half an hour with Jose, and he's in great form before the game. You know, and let's not forget what a talented manager he was. And Roma was actually in a bit of a mess when he took over. They'd gone through a few managers, they'd lost an identity, they'd lost a direction. He's come in, he's given them a clear identity, clear direction. He's loved in the city, but there is a way to go still. There was miles off of challenging for the Scudetto out in Italy. But forget all that tonight. I mean, these scenes now, you know, especially the lads who've come through the ranks there at Roma, the Roman natives, them boys, you know, you cannot go to that city and not feel the club. You know, it's so important. Football is it's a religion, and for them now, they are going to feel like, and rightly so, like 20 foot tall. They're going to feel like heroes, and they'll be remembered forever. But this is the start of a journey, and I'm pretty sure Jose will celebrate tonight, and he'll be back in the office, and he'll be planning on, can they have a go at the Europa League? Can they get closer to the titles? And he said it was a project he was embracing, you know, not with the, like he said, not with the gun at his head to win trophies immediately. He said that's not what the project was. It was building this great club back to the top. But he said, we're in a final and we're going to go to win, and they did play to win. It wasn't a classic by any stretch of the imagination. It was a hard watch at times, but it was a masterclass from that man there. Yeah,
and you know, it is all about Jose Mourinho. As I think we were saying in the build-up, that you know, he has had a lot of sticks towards the latter end of his career in terms of, you know, is he still relevant, I suppose, in a way, because he hadn't won a trophy in recent years, but his longevity says everything, doesn't it?
Well, of course he's relevant. And look, he took Man United to second, you know, and look where they were.
2 trophies.
You know, this season, you know, obviously with Spurs, he probably could have won one if he didn't get the sack just before the game. You know, so the man wins trophies. That's almost a guarantee. Everywhere he goes, he wins 2, doesn't he, Joe? And he's a serial winner. You know, obviously nobody's at the top in football forever. It's impossible. But his longevity in the game, you know, is almost unparalleled at this level. We know Klopp and we know Pep, they're 2 of the greats. But this man, he's not going to give up. He's not going to go quietly, and rightly so. He's earned the right to hang in there, and that's a giant of a football club he's managing, you know. And he's brought them back to life, and they'll be better next season. Spend a bit of money, but he'll be proud of those players. Yeah,
a sleeping giant of a football club, I should say. And as you say, they've risen from the ashes, haven't they? Joe, what is Jose like in these moments? You've won trophies under him. What's going through his mind? What will he be saying to the players?
He won't be saying anything. He'll be celebrating like the rest of them. His genius will come leading up to this game. He picks the right players in cup finals. This is the 4th European trophy he's won. 5th, sorry.
Yeah.
But the last 4, they've not conceded a goal. You know, I know they rode their luck at times tonight. And by the way, this is probably the weakest of the teams that he's won European trophies with, and that's okay. But what he does in the build-up to these big games is he'll set the tone. Whatever tone that might be, he'll hit the right chord with every single player. He chooses the tactics well. He gets it right. And he's just brilliant in moments like this. But now's the time to celebrate. Like I said, next week, the week after, he'll be planning for next year and getting ready. That man there, Tammy Abraham, as you know, you've got to take your hat off to him as well for going over there. But you know, he's become a hero, a god, a legend at Rome in one season. But Jose, yeah, he'll just been enjoying himself, and rightly so. It's a long, hard season. And when you win something, it is beautiful. And he said he was so proud of his young team, and he does. He looks proud of them there.